So guys, in this video I'm going to share my EJPT experience and also tell you some tips and tricks to pass this exam. So this is how the certification looks like. This is the certificate and the version and the date, and this is the certification ID. So you can go to INE verification. So you can supply this ID and the last name is Sainikil and choose the certification as EJPT and you will get the result. So let's get started. So this course is absolutely free. The course materials, course videos and the course labs are absolutely free. Only you need to do is you need to buy the exam voucher and start writing the exam. So the voucher costs $200. So this is very good certification. So to access the free source course contents, you need to go to the my.ine.com. So you need to make the account. If you don't have one, then you will see you need to enroll in the starter pass. So I have already enrolled in it, that's why here it says you are currently on the starter pass, and then you will have the learning path as penetration testing student. So if you open that, there will be three sections for this course. One is prerequisites and another one is programming and another one is basics. So if you see the prerequisites, it will tell you about it will teach you about the web fundamentals and network fundamentals. The course will not teach you about the Linux commands and bash scripting. So the bash scripting will be taught in the programming section, but Linux commands I think you need to uh, learn on your own. So you can Google and you can use the YouTube to learn about the Linux commands. So here these are the network basics, and you will have the first Wireshark lab, and then you will have the find the secret server lab, and finally the data exfiltration, DNS exfiltration. So these labs are belongs to networking. All right. So you need to open this one, and there will be PDF slides. And the next one is web fundamentals. So here you will learn about the how your request and responses work, and you will observe using the burp suite. So burp suite is a proxy, and you can see the video and you can do the labs. Okay, so this is all about the basics, prerequisites for this course. And here preliminary skills and programming. Here you no need to learn programming for this course, so you can obviously use tools. So it will teach you about the C++ and Python and also bash. Okay, you don't need to learn this whole section. If you have interested, you can learn. I suggest you to learn Python because making tools in Python is very easy than in C++. So if you are interested in programming, and you can learn Python, so it's very easy and beginner friendly. Otherwise you can entirely skip this section. And the next one is actual penetration testing basics. So here first we will learn about the information gathering and subdomain enumeration. So don't worry, these will not be asked in the exam, but you should learn this. And there we learn the most important tool, Nmap. So the starting of this exam we will be using this tool, Nmap. So make sure you did this lab correctly, and also see the write up in case they have done differently. So vulnerability assessment, this is the Nessus automated scanner. You can skip this Nessus. Even though if you scan the web server with the Nessus, the installation of Nessus is very painful, and it only the free edition works up to for like 7 days, I don't know. So it's better you skip this one, but you can just learn this and do the lab, but in the exam there will be no need for the Nessus. And coming to the web attacks, here you will learn about the Netcat. So make sure you learn about the Netcat and this Dirbuster. So this Dirbuster is like a graphical user interface written in Java, but there are some alternative tools like GoBuster, WFS. So I use the GoBuster for this, and make sure you have done this lab perfectly, because this is the very most important. So the exam contains like minimum 3 questions on this dirbuster. So there won't be like direct, you need to find the hidden directories and the files using this dirbuster. And then cross-site scripting, so there will be two types, reflected and stored. So here the lab is like admin will log in into like 5 minutes, every 5 minutes, and we need to steal the cookie. But in the exam they may or may not ask about this, but make sure you have done this lab also. And SQL injection, this is also very important part. So there will be some vulnerable parameters, you need to identify them using manually, and then you pass it to SQL map. So generally there will be like error based and union based SQL injections. So there will be no blind SQL or time based SQL injections. So there will be only error based. So if there will be like time based blind SQL injections for the login pages, but that is not the correct path. So it will take so much time. So you need to observe another path that gives you the error based SQL injections. So make sure you have done this lab also, and then you will learn about the password attacks and password cracking using the John the Ripper and Hashcat. So there is a lab for this. I have done this but did not check the tick mark as finished. So here you will brute force the protocols like SSH, FTP, MySQL, etc. So there will be a word list, users word list and password word list. You will use them both and you will gain access to the computer. And Windows shares, so null sessions are like anonymous sessions that will allow you to connect to the Windows share folders and see what are the contents in those folders. So there will be like two machines on this Windows and null sessions, so you need to connect to them and gather the information provided in them. It may have text or configuration files. And next one is rspoofing. So it's a man in middle attack. So you will be learning the rspoof tool. So make sure you have done this rs poisoning lab. So this will not be asked in the exam, but it's a worth learning. And Metasploit, so this is very most important one. So without Metasploit you can do the lab, but the boxes you will be given are easily done with the Metasploit than manual. So manual, it's I tried with Python 2, so it did not work out. So Metasploit is the win for this. Make sure you also watch the video of the Meterpater, and there is our end of the course, and you will have the 3 black boxes. So these are like completely no source code available, so you need to start from the basics. So first black box 1, black box 2, black box 3. So I have not done this. So I have done these black boxes like few months ago, I did not remember. So I have done then 1 and 3. So 2, I think it's more of brute forcing and CTF kind. No problem in that, but I don't know why I left this black box 2 then. So I yesterday only I have done all these remaining labs to just refresh my memory, but I did not do these black boxes yesterday. I have done a few months ago, but make sure black box 1 and 3 you have done. So you can also do black box 2. So if you done these 3 black boxes, so exam will be very easy. So coming to the exam cost is $200. So after paying the $200, you will get a mail and you need to log into the members arena. So coming to the exam format, there will be 20 MCQs. So don't think that you can Google the MCQs and you can answer those questions. Those will be answered only when you done the actual penetration test. So you will be given the VPN file and you will be given the letter of engagement PDF. So in that PDF they will explain there is a company and you need to penetration test against those machines, and you will also given the PCAP file. So since this is publicly available information, I think I can include the PCAP file. So in this PCAP file there will be some communication between the computers, so you need to understand them. If you don't understand them correctly, you will be doing a technique you should be doing a technique called pivoting. So if you understand the pcap file correctly, you no need to do the pivoting. Okay, so take your own time. So even it takes like half an hour, 1 hour, make sure you have understood the pcap file correctly. So first I have compromised with one box and I have tried the chisel to pivot through the box, but it did not work out. It's a old machine, and finally the peeling worked. So even the peeling, it's not reliable. When I came back and see this saw this pcap file, then I have understood it's very simple one and no need of pivoting. So I highly recommend you to understand the pcap file and understand your subnet. So you will get one IP address and you will have one subnet, and you need to do something to start penetration testing on the other subnets. So you need to learn this prerequisites section and especially the networking section. So in that you will learn about this how to scan the other subnets. So after that the passing point is 15 correct answers. So if you got the 15 correct answers, you will pass the EJPT exam. So after I took total time of 5 hours, and after like 2.5 hours and I have completed almost 17 questions. Like it's like 15 correct questions and plus 2 I don't know. So I don't know whether they are correct or not, so I will explain that later, because the vocabulary used in the questions is very confusing for me. So there will be one subnet and few subnets you want to pen test. Okay, so they will ask like in scope. So the question includes like in scope network and internal network. So I have confused about what is in scope and what is internal. Okay, so the exam will be very easy if you enumerate so much. So make sure you have you are taking notes of what you are doing. So for each scan, for each what you are trying to do, like GoBuster or Nmap scan, even like you are viewing the SMB shares, then you need to take the notes. So you can use the cherry tree to take the notes. So I got the 15 right answers, then 2 I don't know whether they are correct or not. Like there will be like answers will be like 4, 5, 6, 7. So the answer will be maybe 5 or 6, so depending upon your like subnet internal. So there will be like 3 host here, 3 host here, and 3 host in another network. So you'll be very confusing, but make sure you have read the question correctly. And then 3 questions are related to brute forcing. Here the actual problem lies. So whenever I use the word list, after using the word list I have no success. So there will be one FTP server. I have got only success for this FTP server. I got the root user and the password, but there is no other port to open like telnet or SSH for this server, only FTP server. So I have uploaded a PHP file and saw whether it's including in any web server or not, but it did not include. So it's a completely dead end, and these root credentials did not work on any other machines. I have tried all the possible ways and have failed. And moreover, after 45 minutes of brute forcing, then these machines started to block me. So like the filters, the ports are being filtered and I have been getting blocked. My Hydra tool is getting blocked. So it's you need to reset the network. So there will be a button to reset the network, so you can reset. Don't worry, then the answers you have submitted will not be reset. So this will be like so much pain. So after trying so much of frustration, I thought there is a dead end, and then it's almost like 10:30 p.m. 10:30 I started the exam at 6 o'clock in the morning, and at 10:30 to 11, then I got full frustration, and I am almost about to submit. So the time for this exam is 3 days, so you don't need to worry about uh, do anything in hurry. You can simply calmly do all this pen test, okay? But at that, after 5 hours, my mind did not work, and it's full of headache. And I know that there are 15 correct answers, and two I don't know, in scope and internal. I know one is exactly correct. The question will be number of these type of network devices. So it's more like 16 plus 1. So this was wrong, and finally I got the 16 right answers out of 20. So okay, those 3 questions, if there is any success, you will get the accounts, the usernames and the passwords correctly. So you will get those 3 also if there is any success in the brute forcing. So the machines got down, and I did not get those credentials, so that's why I left these 3, and I took the risk of this 16 plus 1. And if there are any 2, if you did not reach this 15 correct answers, you will have one free retake. So for $200 you will have 2 attempts to attempt this exam. So I got the 16 and I have passed the exam. So you don't need to worry about like 20 by 20, 19 by 20. Even it's 15 by 20, it's a pass. Okay. So coming to the this is about the course review and the lab review. And my suggestions are enumerate well and take down notes of everything what you're doing. Everything, even it's a small step, make it a note. So whenever you are confused, you can look at notes and you can see that you have attempted that attempt already. And don't worry about any topics that you may think that they can come from the outside of the syllabus. No, they will come only from this syllabus. So make sure you have done all the labs. So forget about this NSS. So make sure you have done all the labs and you are ready to go, and you are good to go. And coming to like certifications review, even though EJPT is not the toughest exam, but it's a good exam. Alright, whenever you are applying for the jobs, even though EJPT, like I live in India. In India, most HRs will ask for CEH, even though it's not that good, but EJPT is definitely better than CEH. Alright, so with EJPT you are showing the HR and everybody that you have actual interest in cybersecurity, and you have done some practical pen test, like real world pen test against some organization, and you have made the pen test report. So I highly recommend, if you are beginner and or you are moving from another field into the cybersecurity field, so this certification is 100% worth it. So that's all my review about this EJPT certification. So if you like my cybersecurity content, you can like the video, share it, and subscribe to my channel for more cybersecurity related content.